I was forced to share my birthday with my spoiled sister every year, so for my 18th, I planned the ultimate. The tradition wasn't born out of necessity or close age, but from sheer, unadulterated capitulation. My sister, Qley, is 11 months younger than me, and from the moment she could talk, she mastered the art of the seismic tantrum. My parents, weary and conflict-averse, discovered a simple solution to her birthday envy. Our celebrations were merged. What began as a practical fix for a toddler became an unshakable law of our household, enduring for 17 long years. Every year the narrative was the same. My birthday would approach, and I'd tentatively suggest a theme or an idea, a tiny hope flickering in my chest. Inevitably, Qley would wail that it wasn't fair, that she wanted a party too, and my parents would fold instantly. "Wouldn't a joint party be more fun?" my mom would ask with a strained smile. "Think of it as a bigger celebration," my dad would add, avoiding my eyes. My cake always had both our names scrawled across it in garish icing. My gifts were inevitably from both of us, which usually meant something Qley had picked out for herself. My day was never my own. The parties themselves were a special kind of torture. They were always tailored to Qley's current fleeting obsession. One year it was a pony theme, complete with a real irritable pony that she lost interest in after 5 minutes. Another year it was a pop star theme, where we were forced to lip-sync to her favorite songs. I was a supporting character in the story of her life, even on the one day that should have been mine. My 18th birthday was approaching, a milestone, a doorway into adulthood. A fragile hope emerged. Surely they would see that this was different. This one mattered. I brought it up cautiously over dinner. For my 18th, I was thinking maybe just a dinner with my friends, something small and sophisticated. Qley's lower lip began to tremble instantly. "But what about my party? I want a glamorous masquerade ball. It's not fair." I watched my parents' faces, pleading with them silently. "See me, just this once, see me." But the habit of 17 years was too strong. My father sighed. "A masquerade ball does sound fun for a big birthday, doesn't it, honey?" he said to my mother. She nodded, relief smoothing her features. The decision was made. Another shared party. Another victory for Qley. That night, lying in bed, a cold, hard resolve settled over me. If they insisted on a shared party, then a shared party they would get. But I would be the one writing the rules this time. The plan began to form, intricate and beautiful in its devastating simplicity. I would give them exactly what they asked for, but not at all what they expected. The next morning, I became the perfect, compliant daughter and sister. I embraced the glamorous masquerade theme with terrifying enthusiasm. I spent hours with Qley online, oohing and eyeing over the most extravagant princess-style gown she could find. I encouraged her to choose the most ridiculous, puff-sleeved, sequin-encrusted dress imaginable, telling her she would look just like a Disney queen. She preened, utterly convinced of her superior taste. Meanwhile, I quietly took my savings and commissioned a local designer to create a dress for me. It was sleek, elegant, and sophisticated, a gown of deep emerald green that whispered of old Hollywood and timeless grace, a stark contrast to Qley's loud, childish fantasy. This was my armor. I then executed the central pillar of my plan, the timeline. I told my parents that I had planned an incredible, surprise grand entrance for Qley that required her to arrive precisely at 8 p.m. "She'll feel like a real celebrity making a late entrance," I gushed. They bought it completely, thrilled at my newfound team spirit. My mother even teared up, saying she was so glad we were finally getting along. Simultaneously, I sent out 2 sets of invitations. The first set, for my parents, Qley, and her small clique of friends, clearly stated an 8 p.m. start time. The second set, for all of my friends, and most importantly, every single member of our extended family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, was for 6 p.m. The message on theirs was clear. Come celebrate my 18th birthday. The day of the party arrived. My parents fussed over Qley, helping her into her voluminous gown, pinning up her hair. I dressed alone, a calm settling over me. We arrived at the venue, a beautiful hall we'd rented, and I insisted they wait outside with Qley until the clock struck 8 for her big surprise. They agreed, giddy with anticipation. I walked into my party alone, and it was my party. The room was already buzzing with energy and laughter. My friends rushed me, telling me how amazing I looked. My grandparents hugged me, my aunts handed me envelopes with cards inside. The DJ was playing my playlist. It was perfect. At 10 minutes to 8, I gathered everyone for the cake cutting. It was a magnificent two-tiered creation and an elegant, sophisticated script. It read only, Happy 18th Birthday, my name. There was no, and Qley in sight. We cut the cake and it was served to my guests. I began opening a mountain of gifts, all for me, surrounded by the people who truly saw me. Then, at 8 p.m. sharp, the doors opened. My family walked in, Qley leading the way with a dramatic, expectant flourish, ready for her grand entrance. The scene that greeted them was not one of anticipation, but of a party in full glorious swing. The music was loud, the dance floor was packed, and the cake was half eaten. A pile of open gifts sat next to my chair. The look on Qley's face was a masterpiece of pure, unadulterated shock. Her jaw dropped. The sequins on her dress seemed to dim under the lights. My parents stood frozen behind her, their faces pale with utter confusion. My mother found her voice first. "What is the meaning of this? What have you done?" she hissed, rushing over. "Where is Qley's cake? Where are her gifts?" My father stood beside her, his expression a mixture of anger and profound bewilderment. I turned to them, my smile serene and unshakable. "I just wanted my own party for once," I said, my voice calm and clear, carrying to the relatives who were now watching the scene with rapt attention. "Just like she gets every other day of the year. You taught me that sharing is caring, so I shared the end of the party with her. You're welcome." Before they could form a response, I turned and gave a signal to the DJ. The music cut. "Hey everyone," I said into the microphone, "play the birthday song. It's time for Qley's cake." The room fell into a stunned, awkward silence. A server emerged from the kitchen carrying a single, solitary cupcake with a lone sparkler stuck in the top. He walked through the crowd and presented it to Qley, who was now bright red, tears of humiliation welling in her eyes. The sparkler fizzled out after a few seconds, leaving only a wisp of smoke. The silence was absolute. The humiliation was perfect. My parents could only stare, their worldview shattered. They had finally witnessed the consequences of their favoritism, played out on a public stage of my creation. They hurried a sobbing Qley out of the venue. But the party wasn't over. My real family and my friends stayed, and we celebrated long into the night. The family hasn't been the same since, but I finally got my birthday. I had reclaimed my day, and in doing so, I had found my voice.